Hello and welcome everyone. A very good afternoon. It's a new episode of Africa Today. Well, the lion's share of this episode is going to be dedicated to Africa Climate Change Week. Well, this is taking place in Gabon with the participation of Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. But before we go to Gabon or to Libreville in specific, let's shed light on what took place on Saturday and on Sunday in Tunisia, TICAD 8, with the participation of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Madbouli addressed the gathering and he stressed the importance of boosting the African economies to reach sustainable development. Here are more details.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli was on Tunisia to chair the Egyptian delegation participating in the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Tunisia hosted the conference between 27th and 28th of August for a host of African heads of state and government. The TICAD conference aims to enhance strategic partnership between Japan and African countries, increasing Japan's contributions to the continent's developments. Areas of mutual benefits include fields of agriculture, industry, economy, and health. Madbouli stressed the importance of TICAD conference as an international platform in partnership with Japan that deals with development issues in Africa. In 2019, Egypt, as then president of the African Union, and Japan co-chaired the TICAD 7 summit held in Japan from the 28th to 30th of August with the participation of African leaders. During TICAD 7, Japan pledged to boost investments in Africa through the country's private sector to help the continent's development.
Welcome back. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry hailed the African Climate Week in Gabon as an important platform to continue with discussing the African sufferings brought about by climate crisis. Addressing the opening session of the week in his capacity as the designated president of the UN Climate Conference COP27, Shoukry said the African continent is the worst hit by climate change and that the upcoming COP27 conference, which is going to be hosted by the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, should be a starting point to collective work to face the crisis. Egypt top diplomat said the world is facing mounting changes due to geopolitical factors coupled with energy crises and renewed commitment to ensure COP27 will meet aspirations. Shoukry also stressed that many pledges were made to handle the climate change problem and they should be adhered to, adding that use of renewable energy sources should be enhanced in order to bring balance to carbon emissions. The African Climate Week, which continues to September 1st, is organized by the UN. It will engage and empower stakeholders to drive climate action across countries, communities, and economies. The event, which is hosted by Gabon, is organized by the UN Development Programme, the UN Environment Programme and the World Bank Group. Partners in the region include the African Union, the African Development Bank, the UN Economic Commission for Africa. ACW is the latest regional climate week organized by the UNFCCC after the Middle East North Africa Climate Week in March in Dubai and Latin America in the Caribbean Climate Week in July in Santo Domingo. And to shed more light on the event which is taking place, as we said, in Gabon, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Ambassador Souad Chalami, former Assistant Foreign Minister. A very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me start, Ambassador Chalabi, with this event as more preparations from the Egyptian side and from Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, who is also the President designate for the coming COP27, for the COP27, as this is going to be the most important international platform to discuss climate change in general and here in Africa in specific. Hello?
Yes, of course, because Egypt is going to host the COP27 in November, next November, and many other countries are hosting side events so that it will manage to create a leading role for Africa. Africa needs a partnership with other countries in the world, with the Western countries and with global financial institutions in order to be able to face the climate change. Of course, it is an important role that these conferences are taking action and they are taking decisions towards how can the possibility of helping African problems that are created by Western climate change.
And Egypt and the African Union, and this started, I think, long ago, they are trying to reach a unified vision to transfer into clean energy, as we may call it. I mean, different kind of renewable clean energy for the best interest of the African states at large. How do you see this and how this can be fulfilled on the ground?
Of course, Egypt is cooperating with the African Union and with all the countries in Africa in order to have joint projects and in order to create renewable energy, because as you know that it is very difficult for the African countries to create these projects alone. They have to have the partnership with technological institutions and technological countries who know how to, who can give us the know-how, who can provide the know-how and the finances in order to be able to do the project for the clean energy and for the renewable energy.
Yeah.
Of course, as you know, there is a global energy crisis in the world. So this is giving a chance for creation of new sources of energy.
Let me say that this was my coming question regarding the current unprecedented challenges that the whole world is facing. And here, among other things, the food and energy crises. Do you think that the Russian-Ukrainian war, the repercussions of COVID-19, all these factors which caused the energy and food crises, was it another alarm to the whole world that climate change issue is a real threat which is threatening really humanity, not directed to certain people? And here, coordination and cooperation among all states all over the world is a must, not a luxury anymore?
Yes, you are right, because now, of course, Africa is rich with natural resources and with human resources. And this is needed for the next generation to get over the crisis, the food crisis and the energy crisis. Because of the war in Ukraine, all the world is suffering from these two crises. The food prices are going high, and the inflation and the fertilizers, the energy, I mean the oil, everything is increasing the prices. So in order to create new renewable sources, we need the financial support of the Western countries, and this is for the benefit of not only of Africa but of the whole world. To use the sun, which we are rich in the sun, energy of the sun and energy of the wind and the water, and we can create energy from all these three natural resources which are available in Africa. And
more
we
than
also
any
have
other place.
yes, more, of course.
The African Climate Week is also a platform to engage and to empower stakeholders, and also to invite the private sector from all over the continent to participate, to have a share. How do you see the share, or the should be share, of the private sector? Because I think that the governments cannot do everything on their own.
Of course, the private sector has a big role to play, but they need also financial institutions and guarantees, and they need infrastructure for transportation and for the roads and the ports, and they need banks, they need insurance companies, they need. Usually the private companies, they want to invest in a safe place, in a peaceful place, not where conflicts are. And this is why we have to provide in African countries, to provide the safe environment for investments, foreign investments, and to attract more and more investments in the field of renewable energy, and in the field of clean energy, and in the field of using the natural resources that we have in good ways, so that we can have the industries and all the factories be able to work without problems, and create, of course, production safe for the people in the future.
Yeah. Yesterday and the day before, on Saturday and on Sunday, TICAD 8th Summit was held in Tunisia, and among the topics which were discussed, it was also climate change. And today we are speaking about the African Climate Week, also dedicated to climate change threats and challenges in front of the Black continent. Do you see these events as more preparations, and the accumulated discussions or results, or the final communique of each of these events, can be such a support or a way to boost the, inshallah, positive results expected from COP27 which should be hosted by Egypt later this year?
Yes, of course. These events that you had in Tunisia and this important conference summit in Gabon. Also, there are these events prepare for the big conference in November in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, and of course the outcome of these events is going to help, because there are declaration of people for financial support, like for instance Japan is going to help in the climate change projects that are going to be presented in COP27. Also the EU and the Western countries are going to be involved in especially the Scandinavian countries. They will have a special endowment for helping the African countries in order to be able to face the challenges of the climate change. So these events are very helpful, of course, and more in the coming 2 months there will be more events that will be held to prepare for the COP27.
One final question, Ambassador Chalabi. The word sustainability was repeated more than once. I think all those who addressed, whether TICAD 2 days ago or today with the conference taking place in Gabon, the word sustainability was repeated. And here we are talking not only about a short-term plan, but a long-term plan, but not only this generation, but the coming generations. How do you see this as one of the main goals to achieve sustainable solutions and sustainable development, to make sure that we are really facing this threat in the right way?
You said the word what?
Sustainability.
Sustainability, of course, yes. If we are doing any projects around the African countries, we are not solving the problem of today or tomorrow. We are solving the problem of the next generation. So sustainability is very important, and the UN have a Sustainable Development Goals program that is going on until 2030. So there are goals, and there are goals for African Union for the development also 2063. So both are looking for projects that are sustainable. If you leave the private sector, they want to gain quickly, and to do projects that are short-lived. But these conferences are looking for long-term and for sustainable development projects, which are going to create energy for the next generation and the coming future.
Well, Ambassador Saad Chalabi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for your input and have a very good afternoon. That's all we have for now. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates, and for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman.